Hey everyone, welcome. If you're joining us live, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us later, hello as well. And we're also podcast as well. So, Dave, thank you for joining me.
Morning, Steve.
So, big news today, and you may have heard this last night on the news, but big news for every holiday this summer, if you're in the UK particularly. So, the next phase of the green list was announced last night. So, we're going to be talking about that today, sharing with you insight as to which countries are now on the green list, what you can expect this summer, if you are thinking of going away, and sharing with you some of the really great offers we are seeing right now for those destinations which have made it onto the green list. So, Dave, how excited were you last night?
Well, you can probably tell by the smile on my face, Steve. Yeah, they kept us waiting a little bit, I must say. I was expecting the announcement a bit earlier, but as soon as we got the information last night, there's a real buzz in the industry, and signs that people have already started to make bookings, Steve.
Because we work in travel and we're seeing a big frenzy of bookings coming in last night as people realise, wow, I can actually go overseas, get on a plane, head off to the beach somewhere nice. So we're going to be talking about which countries are on that list and just what you need to think about. But it's exciting time. So let's jump straight in then, Dave, and tell people the very latest countries, destinations which you can be heading off to.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. So a real mix of destinations, if I'm honest. Better than I was expecting, So if we look at places more closer to home, Madeira and Malta, and I think one of the most popular areas for travelers will be the Balearic Islands. So we're talking about Ibiza, Mallorca, and Menorca. Great for couples and also families. So the early signs I'm seeing is that demand for those destinations is great at the moment. And then a bit further afield, the Caribbean, Grenada, Bermuda, Barbados is the big one there. A lot of holidaymakers looking to go to Barbados. The British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos, Gibraltar, and Israel and Jerusalem. So a great mix of destinations there for a bit of everything, Steve, for everybody.
Which, I mean, there are many destinations on the green list now, but the Pitcairn Islands, I don't know if I've said that right. You didn't mention them.
No, I was going to, Steve, but saying it was one problem, and then knowing where it is was the other one. Apparently they're in this. I thought they were in Scotland originally, because it sounds quite Scottish, but I think they're in the South Pacific, Steve. Where they're group of volcanic islands. You're testing my knowledge here, but I think they're in the South Pacific. Am I right?
You only know that because we were talking about it before we came on air. It's a group of 4 volcanic islands, Dave. Didn't you know this?
Well, I'm expecting to see a flood of inquiries today, Steve, for that destination, Pitcairn Islands.
So, of course, we've still got a number of destinations that were carried across from the previous green list, such as New Zealand and Australia. Yeah. But you're not going to be heading off there this summer because they're not open. So I think the popular ones are going to be the Balearics, aren't they? Madeira, Malta. Malta's got a fan rate as well. So a lot of people should feel really safe going to these destinations, shouldn't they?
You're absolutely right. And I think I think people think it's just about this summer, but it's not. It's about the whole year. Places like Malta and Madeira, the weather goes right up until December. So it's that sort of destination, as well as the family and couples summer holidays as well.
Morning to John, who's watching us live from the MSC Virtuosa, apparently sailing around the British Isles on a seacation right now, and morning to Zahid as well, who's watching us live. So if you are joining us and can beat John is to watching us live from a cruise ship, do let us know where you are right now. We'd be fascinated to know. We're quite jealous, in fact.
I was on that ship a few weeks ago, Steve, and now wish I was back on it.
So what's going to be top of your list of destinations to go to, Dave, now that you've got this green list?
Hey, that's Steve, because Mrs. Pope is texting me every 10 minutes today about booking a holiday. As a family with kids at school, so we're looking at the school holidays. I'm one of those customers, I guess, that's been sat on the fence waiting. So August, school holidays will be for us, and we're looking at, I would say, Mallorca or maybe Menorca for us. I think a great family destination. So I think by the end of today, Steve, I will be booked. Yes.
Fantastic. So we're going to be talking about what you need to know when you're booking your holiday in a moment. So many people commenting now that I've said that. So I don't know if we'll beat this, but Judy's just said she's taking a break from delivering babies to watch us.
Wow.
I think that'll be a tough one to beat. But quite a few people are on this MSC Virtuosa today. We've got Gaynor is on there, along with Rachel and Coleman. And Ross is in rainy Littlehampton, I think. Who else have we got? Too many people commenting for me to keep up. So, morning to everyone watching us. So, just to let you know that one of the things we're going to be doing next week is we're going to be heading off to Mallorca. That's the plan. Now that it's been announced, so that we can actually do some live reporting from the airports on the way out to let you know what you can expect, what you can see, what the process is at the airports, the queues and everything on the way out. We'll be live, well, not live, but recording from the plane, so you can see what that's like, and what it's like in Mallorca, so you can see life in the resorts now that you can actually travel, what it's like to go out for a meal, what you have to do in terms of testing to come back. So that'll be next week. We're planning that right now that the green list has been announced, so the guys are busy getting the itinerary together, booking the flights, so we'll be talking all about that. Now, I say we're going to be doing that, Dave. It's not you and me at all, is it?
What my passport was actually on my desk, Steve, here. So, I'm ever ready, Dave. They call me, you know that.
Unfortunately, it's going to be Lauren who's going to be reporting live from Mallorca for us, and hopefully Sarah as well. So we'll look forward to that. We'll share more. So what you have to know before you head off on these trips. So the green list is great. Obviously, it's all new, this sort of process to a lot of people. So we're going to break it down and make it dead simple. So it is really, really simple. And it's all about making sure everybody's safe. So I genuinely think heading off on holiday right now, my personal opinion, I'm not a scientist, let me just add that, is it's probably just as safe than it is to go to Tesco's. Certainly if you've seen my local Tesco's with the lack of social distancing. So when you head off on holiday, the requirement to go to a green list destination is you have to have had a test before you go, 72 hours before you go, which obviously shows that you don't have COVID, which means everyone heading off on holiday is nice and safe. And you need to take that with you and prove that you've had a negative test result. Okay, so there are test centres all around the country. A lot of the airports have the test centres. You have to have it done in advance. You can't actually turn up at the airport to get an instant result. Local airport to me right now, Southampton, for example, there's a test centre there. You can go along, get a test result, and it's sent back to you within 24 hours. But have a look online. There are lots of test centres all around the country. You can book in. You have to pay a small amount of money, but you can get that done. You can also get test kits sent to you, so long as you allow enough time to get it sent to you. Do the test, send it off, and 24 hours later, they'll send you back a test result, which hopefully will be negative. Then you're safe to travel. That's pretty much it on the outbound, okay? When you come back, you have to then have another test in resort to prove that you have a negative result. Now, those are available at the airport. For example, Mallorca Airport, it's right next to departures. You can go along, you can even book in advance to beat the queues, get a test done, and then you can get the result to prove a negative test before you come back. You do need to check with the airports or the test centres how quickly that test result comes back, but a lot of them are actually within 30 minutes. So for those test results coming back, dead simple. Okay. When you come back to the UK, you must also do a test 2 days after you arrive back. Now you have to book these tests in advance and pay for them, get them delivered to you, and do a test within that 2 days, or 2 days after you come back. So small cost extra on top of your holiday, but a small on holiday, I think I would have to say. Or you also have to fill in a form when you come back to the UK as well, just with all your details of travel. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I've missed anything, Dave, have I?
No, I don't think so. I think the good thing about that is you know that everyone on your plane has had a test, a positive test, a negative, sorry, a negative test. That would be terrible. And the same when you're coming back. So everyone's in the same boat. So I think, as you say, it's a pretty safe way of going about it all, Steve. Yeah.
Thank you to everyone commenting, volunteering to go off and test these holidays for us as well. We'll put you on the list, but that list is growing quite quick, I think.
Yeah.
So it is as simple as that. Now, there is talk about Spain, for example. We were talking about this before we came on air, Dave, that Spain has actually said there is no entry requirements. However, you do need to check the government website for advice, and you do need to check the advice of the country you are traveling to see what their rules are. So as much as Spain may say one thing, if you check the official wording on the UK website, it does say you have to go through that process. So it's better to follow the process, make sure you're all, etc., because that's what the UK government is saying. So follow the advice. So I think it really is as simple as that. Now, we've said, for example, there's a small price to pay for these tests. What about some of the offers we're seeing right now, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as soon as the news came out, right on to the internet just to see what the pricing was like, and I was expecting pricing to change overnight, and actually. Again, first thing this morning, I was looking at different types of offers. Here's an example. So if you're looking at going in summer, in August this year, for example, if you're looking for going for a family summer holiday, now Mallorca has some great value for the summer. I found a family of 4 for the 14th of August for under £2,000. That's in Mallorca. Also, Malta. If you're looking at going to Malta in the summer, Malta, 4-star, all-inclusive for 7 nights, just over £2,000, which is fantastic value. That's flying from Stansted. Other airports are available, and a lot of suppliers are still offering free child places. So fantastic offers there. It's actually, if you think about it, actually cheaper than going away in the UK for the same week. If you want to look at going a bit further afield, Grenada is a beautiful destination in the Caribbean, just about £2,500 per person. That's about a 40% discount. That's July onwards, or mid-July onwards. And then Barbados, which is one of the most popular Caribbean destinations for UK travelers. And that's 7 nights, all inclusive, for £1,849. That's after the 24th of August this year as well. And then one other as well, if you're looking for another Balearic Islands, Ibiza, all inclusive, again, just over £2,000 for the middle of August for a family of 4. So that's just a selection, Steve. I'm sure over this weekend, this will be a bumper weekend for holiday bookings. That's for sure. So I think prices will move this weekend. They will move upwards. Availability will move downwards, Steve. So I think that's the thing to remember, is that maybe not many people booked last night, but this weekend will be full on. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I know that we would be booking to go next week if we could, but we're already booked to go to Devon. So as soon as I'm back from there, I'm going to be looking to see where I can head off to. Of course, there's also talk at the moment about the double vaccine in the amber list. So green list is growing. That's fantastic. Amber list, there's some great destinations on there. Government advice currently is you shouldn't really travel to the amber list, but a lot of people are booking. We do know this, and obviously you have to be aware of the rules about isolation, quarantine when you come back. But rumor has it that those amber list countries could become available to us if you've had the double vaccine. Now, Grant Shapps, I think it was, came out last night and said that they're looking to review that, and an announcement will be made in due course.
Yeah, I think they were talking about sort of late summer. So I'm presuming late summer to me means August, September time. So I think over the next couple of weeks, they'll announce that. I think definitely by the July, I think it's the July 19th date, when we're supposedly be going back to some sort of normality. I think we should know by then, which means if you're double vaccinated, you shouldn't need to quarantine. And at the same time, they'll take off the sort of not the warning, the words that say that you can't. They'll probably change or soften the wording there, and you'll be able to come back and not quarantine. So again, keep an eye on that. That will open up a bit more of the world, Steve.
Great incentive to get your second jab if you've not already had it, or your first one.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So there we go. We've got great range of destinations on the green list. The amber list is sort of opening up in the near future. The process for going on holiday is dead simple. Now, there's obviously a little bit of confusion about, do I need a jab? Not a jab, but a test if I'm going to the Balearics, for example, because it's Spain. Always follow the government advice. Book through a travel consultant, just like a Not Just Travel consultant, and they'll be able to give you the up-to-date information, but check out the government website for all the latest advice. Make sure you check the destination country you're going to as well. That's always the best thing to do, and follow the advice. Always better to be sort of more cautious, if you like, over-prepared than we will be watching. We'll be watching Lauren head off next week, hopefully, if we can get it all booked, so we can actually follow through that process and see exactly how it works.
Sounds great.
And my top tip would be get it booked now, because I reckon the next few weeks, because you can travel from next Wednesday, isn't it, 4 a.m. People won't have booked yet. So this is going to be a great opportunity to head off while it's quiet. That you probably will never ever get an opportunity like this again, when resorts will be so quiet, because next year they'll be full.
I totally agree. And I think a lot of people haven't had a holiday for 2 years or more, Steve. And I think that's my advice, and we all deserve it, I think, don't you? We all deserve a break. We all deserve to escape. And as Steve says, I do it before the prices will rise, the availability will dwindle. This is the weekend to do it, Steve, I think.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you, Dave. And if anyone would like to find their personal travel consultant to get something booked, head on over to notjusttravel.com, where you can search for your personal travel consultant. They'll be able to help you through the whole process, give you all the up-to-date prices. But remember, the whole travel industry works on what we call fluid prices. So every single seat that is sold on a plane means the next seat tends to go up in price. So you do need to book early to get the best deals. Thanks for joining me today, Dave.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
And I look forward to seeing what you book for your holiday.
Oh, yes, it won't be long now.